The word is GAMP. G-A-M-P. What does that mean, June?
There was an old man named Gramp who found it exceedingly damp. So he put up his gamp, went under the ramp, and stole a big kiss from the vamp. It's an umbrella, and it's named after a Dickensian man from Mr. Chuzzlewit.
Presently co-host the Cable Health Network TV show, our very own poet, June Lockhart. What do you say, Gordon? GAMP.
Well, baseball players used to do it a lot. Put in a plug of tobacco and chew, you know, and go. Oh, good. Yeah. It's chewing, to chew like a wad of tobacco. One
of the stars of a made-for-television movie, Honeymoon Hotel, and from WKRP Cincinnati, that great guy, Gordon Jump. Gordon? All right, Roxy, what is your definition?
Well, a gamp in police parlance is a runaway goyle between the ages of 14 to 16. She's not yet old enough to be a vamp.
One of the world's most famous upstairs neighbors, because she's upstairs with the Jeffersons, Roxy Roker. All right, Richard, GAMP, G-A-M-P.
GAMP, to shed tears involuntarily, as when cutting onions.
Not just any guy from the movie, Not Just Any Affair, Richard Klein. There's Richard. And now the correct definition from our Professor Scott Beach. What is GAMP?
Jim Webster's second dictionary says GAMP is a large umbrella.
Ah, the poet.
From San Francisco, it's television's most erudite and unpredictable panel playing Take My Word For It.
Even odd words have a meaning. In fact, we'll give them four. Only one is right, and if you've never heard of it, can you tell the real from the absurd of it? You could look it up, or take my word for it.
And now the principal personality of this passel of pretentious prevaricators, Jim Lang.
Pretentious prevaricators. Well, it's my pleasure to be just that, whatever Scott said, and welcome to Take My Word For It. The show's very simple. If you haven't seen it before, I provide a word you may or may not have seen or heard before, but it is a real word, has a real meaning, and I give it to our panel, and they work with that. One of them has the correct definition, and only one. The other three make up, believe it or not, make up definitions. And that is the challenge to our players. They have to figure out which one of those four has the real definition. Let's meet our players. Lovely lady married, living in San Francisco, Arlene Burbank. Arlene?
Nice to meet you.
You should live in lovely downtown.
Well, we do fly to Burbank quite often. That's where my parents are, and we always confuse the airlines on the phone.
Oh, yes. I would like to fly to Burbank. Name is Burbank. What was that again? Who's on first? I see. They tell me you love to cook.
Yes, I do.
Ethnic foods, or?
I like to cook ethnic. Tonight we're having 10 friends for dinner, and my husband's in charge, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, maybe, who knows, you may win something here that'll make it easy for him.
That'd be great.
Our other player today, on my left, raised in Los Angeles, but now living in San Francisco, Collier DuPont. Collier, welcome to the show. Is that a great name? Collier DuPont. What do you do for a living, Collier?
Well, I sell advertising space for a small magazine called Magical Blend, and I'm a part-time inventor, patent-pending invention.
Part-time? What have you invented? Anything that we could use?
Well, words, you know.
And you are in trouble. Yeah. The panel's in trouble. You're not.
Yeah, also, I'm just working on a product to keep your belly button from shifting around to other parts of your body.
I see. Oh, that ought to sell well.
I'll take a dozen of those. Yeah.
Hey, guys, we got one. Good luck, Collier, really. And, of course, you know how we play the game, but I'll explain to our audience. There are 3 rounds. The first and second round are worth 1 point. If you can find the correct definer, and by the way, you can select the same person if you wish. Round number 3 is worth 2 points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game, you're the winner. You play the turnabout round and try to fool the panel for some big prizes, including a cruise. All right, panel, you ready for the first word?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready, Scott Beach?
Fully prepared, sir.
Yeah. All right, the first word is Cisbio. Cisbio, or Cisbio. Or I don't know. It's C-I-C-I-S-B-E-O. That's it. Who wants to try that? Gordon?
Yes. Cisbio, purely and simply, is a person of extreme wealth. who keeps complaining about poverty so that he doesn't have to pay the bill.
Oh, do we all know those guys?
Not me.
All right, Gordon says it's a rich person who complains about not having any money. Roxy, what do you say?
Well, we all know that the early church was not very tolerant as far as women were concerned at the particular time, and we know that many of the writings that have come down to us have come down through the priests in the church. But about the 17th century, there was a collection of works, manuscripts done by nuns that was found in the tomb of St. Cecilia, and these were known as the let me get this word right now, the pronunciation, Sicispios.
The Sicispios.
That's
and they
correct.
were the writings of the nuns.
Of the nuns.
Okay, Richard, what do you say it is?
Well, there are two pronunciations. It can be Sicispio or Ciccisbio, and it is Latin in origin. It comes from, derived from the word of the famous Latin orator Cicero. And what it merely means is a guide who points out the interesting features of a particular point of interest, the person that you hire in a foreign country to tell you, especially in Italy, a Ciccisbio or Sicispio's person points out.
He's the guide.
Interesting thing. He's a guide.
Okay, great. Richard, what do you say, June?
Gordon is a Sicispio. A Sicispio is a charming, gallant man who, well, he used to be this more than now because who dangles and lusts after married women. These men are found on cruise ships. They're found on ski slopes and on the Via Veneto. I used to be a married woman. Anyway, that's what a Sicispio is.
Okay, very good.
Take my word for it.
All right, panel, we are trying to assess your ability to tell the truth. Gordon says it's a rich person who's really cheap and tries to get out of paying the bill all the time.
That's
Roxy says Sicispio is the writing of the nuns and found in St. Cecilia's. Richard says that it is a guide in Italy to point out the important spots, and June just said it was a charming, gallant man who dangles and goes after married women. Lusts after. I didn't want to say that. All right, Arlene, married woman. Who's right over there?
Well, I'm going to go with June. It's not because I'm a married woman. I think her definition is convincing, and I have a feeling that she wouldn't be telling anything but the truth.
Oh. You know this has happened before, Arlene. Oh, boy, you don't know them very well. All right, what do you say, Collier?
Well, I'm going to go with June, too, just because when the others were giving their definition, I just didn't have a feeling for it. But then when June June did it, I just, it rang a bell.
All right.
Does he have to be quite that honest?
Yes. Without insulting the panel, let's find out. June was selected by both our players. Scott Beach, what is the correct definition of Sicispio?
Jim, according to Funken-Wagnall's unabridged dictionary, there are two meanings for Sicispio. One is a knot or a streamer of ribbon on a sword, a cane, or a fan, and therefore a man who chases married women.
You did well in believing June that time, but don't make it a habit. She's not always that honest. And we'll be right back with more Take My Word For It right after this. Don't go away.
Imagine a weekend hideaway where you will enjoy a luxurious jacuzzi, sauna, and swimming pool. Play tennis, sightsee in historic Princeton, or simply relax. Enjoy gourmet dining and dance the night away. Now imagine all this and more in an atmosphere of Scandinavian elegance, only at the 4-star, 4-diamond Scanticon Princeton. Call us at 609-452-7800 for information on our reasonable weekend rates. And just imagine.
Silver Eagle Records presents a tribute to Mr. Showmanship, the great Liberace. The world's most beloved entertainer. His musical magic thrilled millions for over 4 decades. Recorded with a world-renowned London Philharmonic Orchestra, this is the crowning achievement of a magnificent record-breaking career. There's Johann Strauss Jr., Chopin, Liszt, and Liberace's tribute to the immortal George Gershwin. 40 performances, including contemporary favorites like New York, New York, Send in the Clowns, Chariots of Fire. Hits from Broadway including the beautiful Memory. The Great Liberace, a special commemorative collector's edition. Available on 2 LPs or long play cassette, just $12.95. Or on 2 compact discs, just $19.95.
To order, credit card customers call 1-800-348-3500. That's 1-800-348-3500. Or send just $12.95 for albums or cassette, or $19.95 for 2 compact discs, plus $2.50 shipping and handling to Liberace, P.O. Box 2424, Grand Central Station, New York, New York.
Welcome back to Take My Word For It. Our players did very well that first round. They both found the correct definer. Now let's see how they do in round number 2. Panel, the next word is purple. H-I-R-P-L-E. Purple. Rhymes, I presume, with purple, and we start with Roxy.
Purple is a word which means the escape of air from the human body. No. Please. Through the mouth. Actually, it is the... Actually, it is the last gasp of air as a person expires.
You had me frightened there for a moment, Roxy. All right. Richard, what do you say purple is?
I'm not going to touch that.
I hope not.
Well, to give a more lively definition for you guys, you know, in trotting races or pacing races, when they standard-bred horses, to keep them in stride, whether they're going left, or right, which is pacer, or rear, back, front, they use straps. And those straps are called hurples to keep the trotter or the pacer on stride.
By George, does that sound right? All right, well, they all sound right. June, what do you say?
Richard, that's really wonderful.
Yeah, it is, because it's the truth.
Glowman in the glowman with my lassie by my side. Oh, it's lovely. Herpelin with my... Well, that's what Herpelin is.
Singing.
Harry Lauder used to walk along with a very crooked cane, singing about Herpelin with his lassie by his side, and it was just sort of walking along at a slow pace and kind of a little limping along, walking lamely with his singing cheerfully in this case.
Another Scottish word as far as June is
very
concerned.
Scotch.
Gordon, what do you say?
I wish I didn't have to give this definition because I could create a great one. Herpling is a texturing, making the surface rough and bubbling, and it can be done on painted surfaces by adding extreme heat for short periods of time. Herpling is texturing.
You want to tell us the one you could have made up that was so great?
No, I'll tell you afterwards. All
right, good. Here are your definitions, players. Roxy says it's the last escape of air of a dying person. Richard picked things up there. It's the ropes or whatever they call
straps.
them. The straps that make a trotter and a pacer do what they do, keeps them in stride. June says walking along jumpy jolly, just hoopy-doopy-doopy. That's
no, it's proceeding slowly and sort of with the gimp.
See, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for straightening me out. And Gordon says it is to texture. To Herpel is to texture. We'll start with you this time. Collier, which one do you believe?
I think I'll go with Gordon.
Gordon might not want to go with you. Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah, it was a toss-up with me between June or Gordon this time. And, well, it just seemed like... Well, I'm just going with him. I'm not sure why.
All right. Well, that's okay. You don't have to really give us a good reason. Sometimes it's just osmosis.
I can smile on his face more than anything.
It was all that baloney you gave us about making up, too, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Gordon says to texture, and Collier selects that. What do you think, Arlene?
I'm going to go with Richard. I think Herpel is a term that I've heard at horse races and other places, and they are such big animals, you need something to keep them in stride.
Okay,
so
there we go.
With Richard.
Okay, Arlene selects Richard's definition, and Collier selects Gordon's. How about you? Do you know the meaning of Herpel? Well, let's find out. Scott Beach, what is the correct meaning of Herpel?
Jim, according to Funk and Wagnall's dictionary, Herpel is to walk lamely and make slow, uneven progress.
June had it. All right, June had it, and that means no points at all. So it's all tied up. You each have one, and we're going to go to the third round and see if we can get a winner here. All right, panel, the next word is a slang expression. Slang, it's dead cat.
Oh, of course.
Yes, dead cat. It's a slang expression. Let's start with Richard. What does that mean?
Jim, I want to do a little Tonight Show shtick here, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
I'll be Karnak and you be Ed McMahon, okay?
Okay, right.
You give me dead cat.
Dead cat, Karnak. What does dead cat? What is the question?
What happens when you put your pussy in a barrel full of water and close the lid? Dead cat. A little cat that goes... No, actually, it's a long way to go for absolutely nothing. But thanks anyway, Jim.
Right.
A dead cat is in the circus. You know, you have wild animals. Well, some of them are ferocious and some of them are just there for show. And those that are just there for show, that don't, you know, do the thing through the hoop and through the flame of fire, are called dead cats.
All right. June, what do you say dead cat is?
In the Chinese Tong Wars, a dead cat means very bad luck to your business. And so in the mid-60s in San Francisco, there was a run on a savings and loan up here because one of the Tong members went by and tossed a dead cat into the lobby, and the word spread like wildfire, and it came down and totally they took their money.
That was really funny, dead cat, wasn't it?
And they took their money out of the bank. They had to close the bank so that nobody could get any more money because they were emptying out the account. That's dead cat.
Bad luck, huh?
Bad luck in Chinese Tong War fame.
Okay, Gordon, dead cat.
Well, my friends who have been to prison will know this. On death row, if everything has failed, the slang expression, the prison parlance is that that's a dead cat. There are no more lives left, no more chances for life, and so he is a dead cat.
Appeals are over, huh?
Appeals are over.
Okay, what do you say, Roxy?
Well, in gangland terms, the mob, usually what they do when a person is to be exterminated is that they will wrap a fish in a piece of newspaper and place it before your door, and you've gotten a warning. And the person who receives the warning is called a dead cat. He is the victim.
All right, okay. Boy, these are tough. This is a slang expression, dead cat. Richard says, what did Richard say?
I have no idea.
I forgot what he said.
Totally slipped my mind.
It's an animal, a tame animal.
It's a wild animal that's not
tame.
too wild.
Not too wild at the circus. June says it's a bad luck signal in the Tong War. Gordon says it when appeals are all used up in prison. And Roxy says that it is the victim who's going to get it when he gets the fish by the door. Okay, Arlene, what do you think?
I watch a lot of gangster movies, and I think Roxy has the right definition.
Okay, the guy who's going to get it. Okay, Arlene selects Roxy's. What do you think, Collier?
I'm going to pick Gordon again. I think it's his face.
I think you come around to my way of thinking.
All right. Collier selects Gordon's definition. Arlene selects Roxy's. Scott, what is the real definition of dead cat?
Jim, according to the Dictionary of American Slang, dead cat is circus talk for a lion, tiger, or leopard that does not perform.
Richard had it. Oh, Karnak. All right, we have a tie. There's one apiece, so to break the tie, we're going to play a very easy game. Grab your cards there, true or false, if you would. Scott will read a word, and the word he will give a definition. It may be true, it may be false. You hold up the card that you believe is correct. The tie will be broken just as soon as either of you earn the next point. Okay, Scott? When you're ready, let's do the tiebreaker. What's the first word?
The first word, Jim, is snickersnee, S-N-I-C-K-E-R-S-N-E-E. In theater, an aside to the audience. It is false. There is no winner.
Oh. Okay,
the next word is Callipygian, C-A-L-L-I-P-Y-G-I-A-N. A closet dweller. We have a winner. We have a winner because it is false.
False, and Collier says false. What is the true meaning, Scott?
The true meaning is having shapely buttocks.
All right. Well, that was fun, and you played very well, Arlene. I'm sorry you didn't do better. Of course, who knows on that tiebreaker? It's awfully quick. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was delightful.
I'm glad you had fun. And, Collier, you're going to stay around because we're going to play the turnabout round with Collier in just a moment. See if he can fool our panel. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Have some nice tips for you.
Down through the years, the big games, the special games, always seem to live on in your memory. The excitement of baseball. It doesn't end when the game ends, and neither does your need to know. You want to find out what really happened, what went on behind the scenes. You want to get the straight scoop, and you want the whole story. And that's why so many baseball fans read the sporting news. America's sports authority for over 100 years. Issue after issue, you can rely on the Sporting News to bring you complete coverage, in-depth coverage by experts, by more than 40 staff writers coast to coast, reporting right from the scene of the action. Take it from me, you always stay way ahead of the game when you stay informed, fully informed, by reading the Sporting News regularly. The teams, the stars, the strategies, the stats and standings, the pulse-pounding play-by-play excitement. Everything you want, you'll find right here in the Sporting News. It's great reading. There's nothing else like it to satisfy your need to know. And now's a great time to subscribe. You can get in on a special Sporting News half-price offer. That's right, you can have the Sporting News delivered straight to your mailbox every week for only 1/2 the regular subscription rate. You won't miss a single issue, and believe me, you'll save plenty. So grab a pencil, and here's a friend to let you in on all the details.
Take a tip from Tom Seaver and get in on this great Sporting News baseball offer. Just call toll-free 1-800-331-1700 and receive 40 issues of the Sporting News for 4 easy payments of only $5.45. That's a savings of 1/2 off the regular subscription rate. You'll also get 2 special preview issues at no extra cost. You can't beat that price anyplace. So call now, toll-free, 1-800-331-1700. That's 1-800-331-1700.
Welcome back to Take My Word for It. Collier, it's time to get even with that panel. They've been lying, a lot of them, to you for the last half hour or so. Now it's your turn to do it to them. We have given Collier a word. The word is a real word. We've given him the definition. He may use it, he may not. It's up to the panel to decide whether he's telling the truth or lying. It's a little turnabout, we call it. If you fool 1, you get a nice prize. Fool 2, you get an even better. 3, even better. And 4, you've got a cruise, a dream cruise on the Golden Odyssey. Now, the word that Collier's going to define for the panel is Syndication. It's spelled S-I-C-C-H-A-S-I-A. Syndication. What does it mean?
All right. This word sort of reminded me of L.A. It's probably what outer space people might use the word to describe L.A. Perhaps. It is a noxious or foul exhalation from the earth.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the inside, coming out.
Some of our panelists from Los Angeles, I know. Luckily, we're standing in the fresh, clear air of San Francisco here.
Here.
All right. Oh, thank you. All right. Now, June, Gordon, Roxy, and Richard have circled whether they believe you or not. Collier, let's see what happens. June, was he telling the truth or not?
I'm afraid so.
Okay, June says you were. How about you, Gordon?
I'm going for no. There's something in that kid's eye that just doesn't look right to me.
He went with you every time.
I know.
Yeah, right.
All right, Roxy, what do you say?
I'm going to say yes. He seems to have had that well prepared, so I...
All right, and Richard, what do you say?
Well, I moved to L.A. a few years ago, and I believe exactly what he's talking about.
Now, hold up your cards again. I've forgotten what they were. We've got 3 yeses and a no. Okay, you've either fooled 3 or 1. Let's find out. Scott Beach, the correct definition of Syndication.
According to Funk and Wagnall's dictionary, Syndication is disgust or nausea for food.
Fooled 3 of them. Great. Real good job. Real good. I can just hear some of the definitions you would have come up with Syndication and all that. But that was great. You fooled 3 of them. Only Gordon got you, and you didn't get the cruise, but you did get a nice prize. And Scott Beach, would you please tell Collier what he's won?
Collier won fine china from the Society Collection. Petite flowers edged in platinum. Enhances any table with elegance usually reserved for heads of state. From Society Corporation.
Hey, pretty classy. Pretty classy. Great, Collier. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. We'll take my word for it right after this. Don't go away.
Presenting beef tenderloin in tarragon sauce, pasta and broccoli with gorgonzola cheese, rum zabaglione with fresh strawberries and amaretti. Imagine elegant dishes like these, surprisingly easy to prepare in 45 minutes or less. All in this remarkable recipe collection that's yours free to introduce you to the magazine of good living, Gourmet. From cover to cover, Gourmet is an adventure for the senses and spirit. Let us take you down narrow cobblestone streets to charming hotels and restaurants off the beaten track. Unwind in the bubbling springs of a luxurious price. Plus, receive your copy of In Short Order, a lively collection of quick and easy gourmet recipes, free with your paid subscription.
Call now, 1-800-826-9990. That's 1-800-826-9990. And share all the pleasures of gourmet.
Welcome back to Take My Word for It. Well, Collier DuPont has fine china fit for a head of state, and the name fits, Collier DuPont.
Yeah, it fits for DuPont.
Thank you. You played very well.
Thank you very much.
And you fooled a few of them over there, including June. I'm going to herple on out of here in a moment, but I do want to say thank you, June.
Thank you so much.
For doing such a great job. Gordon, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I refer you to my doctor.
With herple? No, that's a different thing, Gordon.
Okay.
All right. Roxy did a great job, as
Always
usual.
a lot of fun.
And thank you very much, Richard.
Always a pleasure.
You're a dead cat. All right. Thank you, Scott Beach.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for watching. See you next time on Take My Word for It. Bye-bye.
Royal Cruise Line's lovely Royal Odyssey and Golden Odyssey offer deluxe air sea cruises to the Mediterranean, Scandinavia, Panama Canal, and the Caribbean. A landmark in San Francisco, the Hyatt Regency in Embarcadero Center is conveniently located near Fisherman's Wharf and Chinatown. Bolrath stainless steel kitchenware assortment as used in fine restaurants, featuring the party chafer, baking pans, and mixing bowls to prepare and serve at home by Bolrath. Take My Word for It is produced by Omni Productions and is taped before a live audience in the Mary Bull Hatch Studio, KQED, San Francisco.
Only one is right, and if you've never heard of it, can you tell the real from